Peace, family. I hope everybody doing good. We got an amazing teaching today. So before we get into this teaching and the information I want to share with my brothers and sisters about our school and things, I'm going to get into our prayer. So give me 1 second. 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, Morris. I hope everyone is doing good because we had a productive day. We had a good training this morning. Took a couple of days off from my other duties. So let's jump into this science real quick. But without further ado, let's get into our warning from our prophet and our benediction and our prayer. So the divine warning by the prophet Noble Ali. The prophet warns all Muslims, governors, ordered to read the proclamation at each meeting. This was dated January 15th, 1929, Moors, and it reads, I hereby inform all members. Peace, brother. Peace. Peace to you and your family, man. But I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cars at Europeans. Peace, more. Peace, more. Stop flashing your cars at Europeans or Albions. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, my 2 cents, health, and wealth, Moors. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member who or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. Remember, when we say Allah and Moorish science, that's God and man is one. That's nothing outside ourselves, and we must explain that. When we say Islam, that's self-law and master. That's nothing outside yourself. We must make that clear. But any member who or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, that's esoterically and exoterically, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement. I hope Moors know what the Moorish movement is all about. Will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to us by our prophet. And if we lose confidence in the prophet, we should turn in our cards, buttons, cease wearing our turbans and our fez, and return to the state where we were found. This is a holy and divine movement. Most Moors, they got to know what the holy and divine movement is. That's why I don't get into advanced civics with people that just follow. Those are for my students, because a person to take some and get themselves in trouble. It's prereqs before you go all out talking about some advanced civics. That's why I don't like to share that. I have a real school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I have real students, physically and online. But if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from sinful ways, Moors. Our other prayer, my prayer for positivity, Moors, and it reads, I pray that I think peace, speak peace, and that I am peace. I pray that I think truth, speak truth, and that I am truth. I pray that everything I attract, I pray that everything you attract carries high harmonious vibrations and energies. I pray that I think love, speak love, and that I am love. May the light within me, Moors, may the light within you, Moors, serve as a beacon for those that need it. Amen. Amin Ra, Aya Asha Aya, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom Alakim. We must understand the Gnostic teachings of the biblical scriptures. That's why our prophet told us don't throw away your Bible. You got to know what the Circle 7 Quran is all about. When I explain things esoterically and exoterically, I explain things esoterically and exoterically. I use the biblical scripture to show you the esoteric science, and I use the metaphysical Bible to show you the esoteric science, and I use the Circle 7 Quran. We got to know this. Moors just dissing things that they don't understand. And that's not Moorish science. Any more going around trying to convert you to some religious dogma, telling you some al-Islam, that's not Moorish science. Period. So, our benediction, and we're going to get into this teaching. But before that, I'm going to share some information about our school with some brothers and sisters that was asking me. So, may the benison of Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head, that's all that is in Moorish science. When we say Islam, that's I, self, law, and master. Islamism, Hebrewism, Sufism is all the same thing, connecting ourselves to the higher manifestation. The European perspective of Christianity and al-Islam don't teach that. They teach it some pie in the sky, Moors. The Nation of Islam taught that in the early 30s and the 60s before, how can I say, it was suppressed because Elijah Muhammad, which is Elijah Poole Bey, was a student of our American Moorish prophet. Just like Far Muhammad was, just like a lot of figures was. And I teach this and I show all real documents. Why you think Khalid Muhammad left the Nation of Islam? Why you think Clarence X, Allah himself, the founder of God's earth, why they left this? Because they knew Moorish science teachings, Moors. It's just facts. When being a Moor has nothing to do with a religion. That's why I teach the triple role of the adapt chamber. Ask these Moors, they don't know. They're just going around trying to convert people to religious dogma. And that ain't what I do. Moors, being a Moor is your nationality, and that's where it stops. We are spiritual people. Being spiritual has more to do with just the holy breath that some say. We are in the dream world. We're fighting this physical world spiritually. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand the divine creed of Moorish science. You can't. So, may the benison of Allah be upon you and I always. And we all should strive to be a credit to arm, leg, arm, head. That's manifestation of yourself. Make haste to bestow the acts of love upon your brothers and your sister and all children. And we should strive to do our best to shun all evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that we might nourish the souls of all men, women, and children. Let truth be thy shield in the manifest battles of falsehood. Knowest that we need not to pick the lock to the gates of paradise, Moors, by means of petty or criminal theft. Why? Behold, the key to salvation already rests within our own hands, Moors. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, inconsistency, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine, family. May Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head, may Buddha, may Yahweh, may Confucius, may any name that you praise. Because we have to remember, in the Quran, I don't care which one you read, a prophet comes in the voice of the people. You got to get out those wrong teaching and say his name is too holy. That's false doctrine. That's Novus Testament. That's European perspective. That's Greek perspective. That's Roman perspective. I teach language. I teach Ediman. I teach you how to get out of that linguistic apartheid. But may it guide you, preserve you, and lengthen your age and give us everlasting peace, family. So, with that being said, what happened? Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, we on, bro. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to hit you back, but I'm about to share the information with you about the school so you can watch it and your cars are coming. Sorry about this, family. Shalom. But anyway, family, a lot of people have been asking me about my school and, can they attend physically and online? And here I reside in Arizona, and I am a real school. I'm a 501c3, and most people diss that because they don't know the dynamics of 501c3. They just going on hate. You can't do nothing in your community. You can't get donations donated to you if you're not a real organization, organized nation. And if anybody dissing that, tell them to give you the full dynamics of it. They can't because they're not a business. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a religious organization. That's how the prophet set it up with an affidavit. Moors don't have the literature. They dissing something they don't have any inclination about. I'm telling you, we teach spirituality and nationality. That's why the divine creed is first. But anyway, a lot of brothers was asking me about my school, and like I tell people, anyone can come to our Sunday school lessons for the spiritual lessons. But to come to the classes. And the reason why I don't share a lot of the teachings and the civics online, because a person to take something and run with it and get in trouble. I teach prereqs first. I have a syllabus because I want people to come up together. I take my teeth out, and I'm using an analogy, and we get on Similac per se, for we all can come up together. So anyone can come to my spiritual classes on Sunday. But far as my teachings, I have a school, and those are for my members and students. And I have members and students that's online, just like any other school. I'm going to show members our new ID cards for our school. I don't print Moorish Science IDs. I'm nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple of America. And when people ask me, what about these other camps? I don't, if it's not Moorish Science Temple of America that the prophet set up, that you can nationalize no matter where you are, it's not valid. That's why they can't operate. That's why they don't have the literature I have, because they teach in dogma. I have a real school. And I teach Kemetic principles. I teach metaphysics. I teach alchemy. I teach linguistics. I teach real law. I teach agriculture. I teach business, how to set up your nonprofit, how to have what is quick 30s. When I go to these schools and teach, a lot of these kids, different nationalities, when they graduate high school, they have their own standing entity. And I teach this. But my school is for my members. My members pay $50, donate $50 a month. And they able to get the syllabus, the literature, because I print things out and I give it to you. So, and we have ID cards, and we hold classes twice a week. So I teach a real school with syllabus, and I just don't give my perspective. I give all perspectives, and I give you something to compare to. I give you something to compare to. So a lot of my brothers, Islam more. So a lot of my brothers and sisters, they ask, well, are they able to come to our spiritual Sunday school? Absolutely. But for my teachings and for the Moorish science and for the civics and for the law, those are for my students. And the thing that I tell people, why are we act niggardly and don't want to pay dues? We pay anything else. I have a real school. I print the syllabus, print literature. I have books. I give ID cards for the school. That's it. You can look me up on an Arizona Corporation Commission. We have schooling at the YMCA. That's where our schooling is at, because I had a temple physically in Arizona and Moorish didn't want to pay, and I shut it down. So I have my school at the YMCA where they let me come and I teach, and I have real members. I have real members, man. We have over, I say what? Let me see. Right now we got 73 members online and physically. And I send, and for my students, I send them the syllabus. If they can't physically be here, they get the lesson plans. I send them all the literature. Man, we teach real civics. We teach real history. Most Moors don't even know about the forgotten cause of the Civil War. I teach that history. They don't even know about the 103 amazing facts about the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. Look online and see how much this stuff costs. Look online and see how much the forgotten cause of the Civil War is all about. A New Look at the Slavery Issue by Lawrence R. Tenzer. Look online and see how much that costs. I have it all. I have it all. Look online and see how much the 103 amazing facts about the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere costs. Look, I teach this. So brothers getting these IDs from different camps, and I say, man, that ID don't mean nothing. When you get nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple of America, it comes with your amnesty oath. It comes with your adoption papers. It comes with your dispensation. It's so much more. The Moorish Science Temple of America, we do have a real tax ID number. I use it. Exactly, more. And brothers don't understand. I teach it. I say, man, y'all being connotated with these Negroes making films. No disrespect to nobody. And I'm going to use an example. That Hidden Colors, when they talk about Africa was named after a European, that's bull crap. That's false doctrine. And them brothers don't even come and make it right. I'm telling you, because a lot of brothers have took an oath. I tell you everything about me. I'm 99, a primitive rite of Memphis and Mizraim. I teach in the temples. I teach at all the mosques. I teach at Prince Hall. I haven't signed no oath. I tell the truth. That's why they bow down when I go places. Prince Hall Muslims, the Blue Lodge, they sons of Muslims. I say, I'm a teacher. Most brothers that I know that's European Masons, they have no science. They only 32 and 33 degrees. And if brothers and sisters wearing a fez and a turban and they don't even know material wisdom, which is 32 and 33 degrees, you need to take that turban and fez off. I teach the 32 and 33, but I show you it's way more. It's 99. The European to tell you. They went to Egypt and stole all the literature. I promise you. They went to Egypt and stole all the literature. So once again, Morris, I have a real school, and anyone can come to the physical school. You can come to the spiritual lessons. But my school is for my members and my students. And my members and my students, they pay $50 a month, which is tax exempt. That ain't nothing. That's $12.50 a week. You get your ID card for the school, not Moorish Science. If you want to be nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple, I walk you through it. A lot of temples are not right, but I show you how to get nationalized the right way. And then the buck stops there. Then you must find the right person that's operating right with the right vibration. Just like you courting a woman or a man, you must find the right type. So, like I say again, we have a real school. We teach real histories on Saturdays, on Wednesdays at the YMCA here in Avondale. I have students online, and I directly send you the lessons if you can't physically be there. I direct send it to you. I send it right to your email. And it's another app that we used to where my students can go on and watch it live as well. You can log right on. All my students, I send it all to them. And if they want to watch the physical class, they can. But I send it to them well. And we have a syllabus. Man, I print all the lesson plans. I print all the literature. I have a printing press. I just don't print my books that I make. I also print books that brothers can't get. I print ancient books that brothers might not know about. Like, for instance, when we talk about one of the biggest wars in history, we talk about the history of the reign of Ferdinand and Isabella. A lot of Moors don't have this history. I have it. When I clear up all spookism, I teach Eddie Man. Some brothers only give you one perspective, and I say when they tell you something, they quoting old English. That's bull. That's gibberish. What it mean in Hebrew? What it mean in Latin? What it mean in Moorish Latin? They have no clue. But then they say they adapts. That's bull crap. You should get all this in the temple, and I teach it. So, like I said, if anybody want to be a student and you serious, you get with me. You know, inbox me. I'll show you how to be a student. You'll be able to. I'll show you how to take a picture at the Rite Aid or at any other of these places. Just like when you get in your Moorish ID, you would get a passport ID, and you get a real ID for our school, not a Moorish Science of America ID. And on the back of our ID card of our school with the tax exempt numbers, so you can use it for purchases. Just like when you become nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple, you will get a tax exempt card. And if any more telling you that's any different, they lying to you. I'm telling you, I always show and approve. I don't even know where my wallet is. One second. Because a lot of Moors be lying. Here go our tax exempt card right there. Here go our tax exempt card right there. Let a Moor say the Moorish Science Temple don't have a tax ID number. They lying to you because they're not nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple of America. I don't care if you, quote, print some card with some tribe on it. That's a misnomer. I don't care if you talk about you some autotoxin or some other tribe. One nationality, many cultures. And Moors know what I'm talking about. Our travel identification card. That's all it is a travel identification card. It's an identification card, a travel identification card. It's a different from the right to travel and a right to operate a motor vehicle. Some of these Negro Moors with fezes and turbans aren't going to get you killed. Period. They're not explaining everything. And here's our nationality card. Period, Moors. I don't want to go through all the paperwork because I done demonstrated that so many times. What comes when you get nationalized, your birth certificate, your adoption papers, all that, your amnesty of oath, your dispensation papers. I give it all that. Exactly. And see, you asking good questions. And the brother asks, when you being nationalized through the temple, does it make you part and parcel of the parcel? Exactly, Moor. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. See, the Moor's not going to show you this because they're not nationalized. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's something that on our back of our ID cards. It ain't just a card that's printed. This thing's on the back of our ID cards, Noble. It's so much on the back. Ask the Moors that's printing different cards. Like somebody was asking me about RV Bay. I said, I don't deal with that. If it's more science, no. Well, I ain't dealing with it. It's something on the back of these cards, man. That means something. It's something on the back of these cards. They're not going to explain it to you. I will explain it to you. I'll explain anything. If somebody wants to ask any question, I explain it. So just because somebody prints some card, it don't mean nothing. That's just a card. Where your paperwork? Where's that? Where your amnesty of oath? Where's your adoption papers? Where are your paperwork at? I'm just gonna show some printed of it because I don't want to go back in my safe and grab everything. Because my empress will kick my butt because I'll be pulling so much stuff out. Ask them where's their Muslim missionary decree certificate at. Ask them where their Moorish Science of America baptism certificate at. Ask them where there's the title of nobility. Ask them that. Ask them where they dispensation 720. You get all this through the Moorish Science Temple. It's nothing you have to do yourself. Ask them about the noble decrees. Ask them about it. Ask them about the title of nobility. Ask them about it. Ask them about the House of Bay, 720 Moorish American Muslim. Ask them about it. Ask them about their amnesty oath. Ask them about it. Ask them about it. Ask them about their adoption papers. They don't have it because it's not Moorish science. It's somebody print some cards. And I ain't here to diss nobody. I'm here to tell you the real. I'm here to tell you the flat out real. I can care less about somebody print something. I operate on peace. You print a card and then see if it's looked at right. Because the Moorish Science Temple of America, you can look up in the Library of Congress. Period. You can look every Moor from when it's been established, their names. Moors are lying to you. I'm telling you. And they don't like it. And I don't care. The Moorish Science Temple of America was established as a religious corporation by filing the affidavit. Or watch this. Watch this, Moors. Watch this. Watch this. And then when somebody prints some card for you, see if they operating right. Watch this. The Moorish Science Temple of America was established as a religious corporation by filing the affidavit of organization. Document 10-10-5905. Ask them that's print cards what that is. Ask them. I bet you they'll be like, what you talking about? They don't know because they don't have it because some just print cards. You see what that is right on our, what you see that? You see that 1099? Ask them what it is. Ask them what it is. They can't. Ask them what's on the back of that card, what it mean. I'm going to show you, but let me finish demonstrating so we can get things clear. Because I don't care about nobody printing no card and they dissing the Moorish Science Temple of America and they ain't never been to no temple. What I tell Moors, if you've been to a temple and it's not right, call it out. If you've been to a temple and you know a Moor that's preaching false doctrine or teaching false doctrine, call it out. They can't. Because all Negroes do is just repeat stuff with no facts. Tell them to prove it. They get mad. I prove everything. Now watch this. The 1099 recorded in the record of deeds office in the county of Cook, state of Illinois on August 1st, 1928 AD at 2:52 p.m. At that time, though, this affidavit, Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave birth to a free national government as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate under the revised statute of the state of Illinois, chapter 36, section 36. Ask them. They don't, Moors, look. Ask Moors, do they know anything about the law of freedom and bondage in the United States? They just repeating bull crap that they hear. People on YouTube say, because they not Moors. They're not nationalized. And certain brothers that demonstrate, they say you're going to need the temple. You're going to need to be national to the temple. But then they say they print Moorish IDs. How? If you're not part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's known in the Library of Congress. That's known. This ain't no secret that when the prophet established the temple, the mayor of Chicago, it's paperwork, man. It's paperwork. Tell them to demonstrate. Don't get caught up with somebody saying they can print some ID cards. Anybody can print an ID card. We have for our school. I had ID cards at the universities when I got my master's, and now I'm getting my PhD. So keep it right. Anybody can be a Moor. That's your birthright. But are you part of the Moorish Science Temple of America? I'm telling you, you're going to need that. So let me finish. Through this affidavit, Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave birth to a free national government as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate under the revised status of the state of Illinois, chapter 36, section 36. Ask these Moors about that. Check out the science. July 20th, 1928 was the third day in the beginning of a new moon during the sign of Virgo. August 1st, 1928 was the day of a full moon. Was it coincidence that on July 20th, 1928 AD, Holy Prophet held a meeting, had the affidavit notarized and recorded the affidavit on August 1st, 1928 AD at 2:52 p.m.? Ask any more of that. Ask them. They can't because they lying to you. The Heard-Smith Revised Status, Chapter 32, an act concerning corporations, Section 36, Religious Corporation Act, played a huge origin on establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. What you ask, Noble? How can any subordinate temple or anyone talk about they print Moorish ID cards, talk about they Moorish Science Temple of America, not operate under the Heard-Smith Revised Status, Chapter 32, Section 36? Why? Because this act clearly states that any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in the matter of following by not electing, appointing according to the usage or customs at any meeting held for that purpose, 2 or more trustees, which all was sheiks was, but they ain't gonna tell you that. Warden or vestrymen or such officers whose powers and duties are similar to those of trustees, as shall be agreeable to the usage and custom, rules, and regulations of such congregation, church, or society, and may adopt a corporate name, and upon the filing of the affidavit, as hereafter provided, it shall be and remain a body politic and corporate by the name adapted. I'm telling you, man. I don't know more. I know a Noble Moore here in the city say you guys went through the chambers together. What city? And see, like I say, when the Moors say that, tell them to tell you, because the Moors that was at my temple, at my building, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Them Negroes a joke. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When I started breaking out the circle, them Negroes was coming, and I got to keep it 100. They were coming to the temple. I said, well, why y'all not teaching through the Circle 7 Quran? They said, oh man, it's in code. I say, what code? English? Them Negroes coming in with magazines and stuff. One of the Negroes talk about plasma TVs made out of blood. Man, I had to laugh. That excuse my language, it's laughable. It's laughable. So I ain't went through no chamber with no Moors because they don't even have the information that I have. I give all the information. Ask them, do they have the House of Ali? Watch this. Watch this. Ask them, do they have this? Ask them, do they have this? I guarantee you they don't. Ask them, do they have this? So I don't know the more. Like I say, if you say his name, like I say, when I was snapping, and because I have a whole family that's Moors. That's what they didn't know. I have a whole family that's Moors. I have family in New York that was under the gods and earth that was taught by Clarence X. I have documents. I have manuscripts. So a lot of these Moors don't want to show and improve more. So we got to be careful. If a person saying something, tell them to prove it. And they always trying to say they got to take you through something. No, you take it through yourself, because this is about saving yourself. We have to give the manuscripts. All I am is just a map. I'm a Messiah in the flesh. And the Messiah is, you know them. You know me. That's what that is. So I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. Period. I ain't went to no adapt chamber with nobody. Flat out. I've always been an adapt. That's the thing they didn't understand. I always been a 99th right, primitive right of Memphis and Mizraim. I already was a part of the Philosophical Society. I already was a member of the Metaphysical School, Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research. I already taught this wisdom because my parents have doctorates. I was under this science a long time. That's why a lot of the manuscripts, I be laughing. I be laughing at some of these Moors. It's a joke. They have nothing. They have nothing to prove. They don't understand the connection. God and man is one. I say, well, what's God and man is one? Connected to the physical body. They can't. The most place, the holy place, and a quarter roundabout. When I break out all the charts, when I break out the maps, when I talk about synchronicity, they don't know jack. These Negroes think they Muslims. Al-Islam. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, more. They think they some damn Al-Islam. Flat out. And I don't care what city or state it is. Only one Moorish Science Temple, and everybody should be saying the same thing. If they're not, it's religious dogma, Moors. Period. So you can see why when we study this Religious Corporation Act at a glance at the affidavit of the organization, which is the original form of the 1099, you will see Noble Drew Ali followed the substantial form of the revised statute and then expressly organized a ecclesiastical body politic and corporate known as the Moorish Science Temple of America. By that name so adopted, family. This simple pamphlet that I'm giving you that all Moors should have will end all the confusion and foolishness of those who say the prophet did not establish a nation state. Ask them, do they got the teachings? They don't, because they're not part of the body politic. It's too much literature, man. It's too much literature to remove all lies. I know many conspirators' hearts are beating rapidly now. So let's speed up the pace. Many people might ask, how was this body politic and corporate duly established? The answer is by filing in the county of Cook, recorder of deeds office, an affidavit substantially expressed by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself, being the presiding officer. He swore that the meetings of the members was held. He stated facts of our power and authority and having the sheiks duly appointed, not elected. You can elect the damn fool. I'm just telling you, man, I'm keeping it 100. Anointed and consecrated. Instruments is well known as our authority, but is really titled the Affidavit of Organization. By definition, Moors, an organization can include a wide range of entities. Organization is defined as, and I quote, a corporation, government, or governmental subdivision or agency, trust, estate, partnership, or association, two or more persons having a joint interest or any other legal commercial entity. Ask them that. They ain't gonna tell you. These Negroes lying, man. They getting y'all and they getting brothers in trouble. They telling you got the right to drive without a license. It's the right to travel and the right to operate a motor vehicle. Those two different things. But these Negroes, didn't our sheik tell you if you wanted European prophets, I'll give them to you? These Negroes running the court, and I say you, and I tell Moors, it's all done once you nationalize the right way. That's why I get to go so many places, and I teach in all houses, no matter what the color is. I'm welcome in the European temples with the Masons. I'm welcome with the Imams. I teach at the Twahedo. I teach with a lot of biblical preachers. They ask me to come and illuminate the scriptures. I have a real school. They're not going to tell you the truth. So let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. In order to organize as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate at that time, family, at that time, a church, society, or congregation pursuant to the laws of the Hurd-Smith revised status of the state of Illinois, the affiant had to file in the office of the recorder of deeds an affidavit substantially in the following form of the Hurds Religious Society Act of 1872, Chapter 32, Section 36, codified by the General Assembly as 805 ILCS 110-36 from Chapter 32, Paragraph 165, Sec 36. If any other Moor tell you they lying. They lying, Moors. They don't know. They got, look, ask them, are they notarial republic? And ask them what a notarial republic is. That means you're able to sign papers in different jurisdictions. These Negroes they sign stuff. It don't mean nothing. I'm telling you, man. I promise you. And I'm telling you the real, because it's time to tell the real. They telling you about some UCC and all that, man. We don't need that no more. They ain't even telling brothers the whole thing. They getting brothers in trouble. They putting you back in slavery. I promise you that. They giving you one perspective. Don't you know, I have a whole library of UCC codes, and it's a plethora of them. It's over 63 UCC books. You got UCC for unemployment. You got UCC for everything. So they need to break it down. They only keep you in one jurisdiction, and they lying to you. This is the state of Illinois. When the prophet said, I do solemnly swear or affirm, as the case may be, that at the meeting, whatever, ECT, such affidavit or a copy thereof duly certified by the recorder shall be received as evidence of the due incorporation of such congregation, church, or society. Research it. So now that we look at the substantial form of filing affidavit, let's move forward to the affidavit of organization. Here go proof. And it's old. You can pull this up on the internet. These Negroes lying. They lying to you, man. They thinking they can create something. And at the end of the day, you don't have no due process because you're not part of no body politic. I promise you. You can look up the Moorish Science Temple in the Library of Congress. Everybody at Temple, you nationality ain't right, you got to leave it. Didn't the prophet say, if anything, claim your nationality? Hey. But this revised statute, the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali used to substantially draft out the affidavit of organization recorded in the County of Cook record of deeds. He swore his affidavit of organization to himself, signing as Drew Ali, but filing as Noble Drew Ali, ALLI. Do we understand the science? Ask them to explain. They can't. So we got to take time to understand. He acted as a private person or a private juridical in form of two characters. I keep telling you. He also appointed person as sheiks, and I'm explaining later that, but also adopted a corporate name. There are many other significant details of this affidavit that I will point out later in different teachings. But the Moorish Science Temple of America derived its powers and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to promulgate the faith and the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali in America, in America, in America. This is a very important statement on this affidavit because it shows that we are given a divine mission to propagate the faith of Muhammad in America. This particular Quran of Muhammad, also known as the Holy Quran of Mecca, is the divine instruction of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, passed down to all Moorish American children of all ages. Every Muslim is born and not made. Those who love this divine and national movement, they don't even know what the divine and national movement is. I promise you. They going around talking about, I print these cards, get with me. Man, you better check that. I'm telling you. So the question is, what do members of the Moorish Science Temple of America have as far as customs? Okay, the customs that we have are what we practice, of course. These are the 5 highest principles that we practice daily, which are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And my 2 cents, health and wealth. That's why Noble Drew Ali only gave certain things, because he said the messiahs, the prophets in the new time have to take it farther. The Moorish American prayer is a custom, that opening and closing of the Circle 7 meetings. Why you think Moors only pray 3 times a day? They're not going to teach you this. But I'm going to teach it. These Negroes got you praying some other way, but they ain't going to teach you about what the Moorish Salawat is. Because they don't know. Family. They don't know. They got you all out of line. That's why when it come down to the come down, all that stuff don't mean nothing. I guarantee you. That's why we are law-abiding citizens. Everywhere I go on college campuses, all Europeans, they know, but it's Negroes. I'm telling you, man, I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. I ain't here for no friends, period. Celebrating the Holy Prophet birthday, January 8th, and our authority day on July 20th each year are also customs. Simply wearing a Moorish fez or turban are customs. We have to honor our foremothers and forefathers, teaching our people that they are not Negroes, black people, or colors. I like to call them NBCs or Ethiopians. It's also a custom and method of uplifting. Brothers still calling themselves misnomers. Still, it's sad. Another custom is flying our Moorish flag. Our Moorish flag. You see that? Watch this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, and to the republic for which it stands. Man, I demonstrate too much, but it go over Moorish heads because they're not organized. They don't want to be. They don't want to be, man. But our Moorish flag, which is known as the Moorish flag and has been flown in our land for over 50,000 years. Currently, the Moroccans in the Moroccan kingdom have falsely adopted our flag and has caused us a great damage. The Moroccan flag has been seen by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali since the 20s. And the present Moroccan kingdom in Northeast Africa today have falsely adopted our flag in the year of 1956. Don't y'all got to know this? Just like Israel was created a state in 1948, Moors, we had the flag already. Wow, watch this. I demonstrate this in our book, The Chosen Ones. Take a look. This 1928. This Wentworth Matthews. Right? What you see, that so-called Israel flag. This 1928 with what? The American flag. These Negroes got you twisted, man. You see what that say? The Moorish Zionist temple of the Moorish Jews. And I have to tell you what's all that about. But you see it. You see them brothers with their fezes on. You see them with the stole on, just like the one I have. It's all our science. It's all our science. It's all our science. But they're not going to teach because they want to convert you to some bull crap. It's all us. This 1928 Moors in New York. I keep telling Moors, the 6-point star, the 5-point star is all Moors. But they ain't going to teach you that. They ain't going to teach you about the Kabbalah. They ain't going to teach you it because they don't know it. They don't teach. I'm telling you. This goes for proclaim Moorish Americans as well by taking an oath of amnesty, which I showed you, the oath of amnesty and reconstruction of the Emancipation Proclamation, an executive order issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1865. You are a true American citizen. Now ask any more that's print stuff, where's your amnesty oath paper? Ask them. They don't have it because it's not Moorish Science Temple of America and it's not recognized. I promise you. I promise you. It's just facts, man. This oath is to be subscribed by a grand sheik, which is an officer lawfully authorized to administer such an oath. And then such oath has to be recorded in the county. It has to be recorded in the county for it can be valid, for you can look it up. This ain't no secret. This ain't no secret masonry. When a member of this body politic and corporate takes an oath of amnesty and reconstruction, he becomes part and parcel, that's like the question you asked, Noble, of the said government and returns back to the family of nation, which is what? The Asiatic nations. I hope we following me. The term said denotes, ask some more what that means in the paperwork said. It denotes something declared or before mentioned. They ain't gonna break it down. On our nationality cards, Noble Drew Ali declared, you are a Muslim under the divine laws of the Quran of Mecca, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Then he showed that you are a citizen of the USA, coming out of a rebellious state. You have to take the said oath to be the citizen of the perpetual union again. This is another one of our cards. These Negroes lying to you, Moors. I'm going to read it. This is your nationality and identification card for the Moorish Science Temple of America and birthrights, which is our paperwork for the Moorish Americans, etc. We honor all the divine prophets, Jesus, and I'm going to give you, which is Yahshua, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. May the blessings of the God, our Father, Allah, be upon you that carry this card. I do hereby declare that you are a Muslim under the divine law of the Holy Quran of Mecca, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I am a citizen of the USA, Noble Drew Ali, the Prophet, 5933 West Madison, Chicago, Illinois, 60644. Facts. Facts, man. Facts, Moors. They lying to you. They lying to you. The term said government has been used in the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws a couple of times, particularly in Act 4, 6, and 7, and it denotes a government in a former time. To be part of the said government is to be an equivalent of whether citizens, subjects, or even property through citizenship or naturalization. The term parcel refers to a part or portion of land, a part of an estate. Parcel, as used with reference to the land, generally means a continuous quantity of land in the possession of an owner. The estate that we partially own will be explained later. I'm telling you. Do you understand what this means? To be part and parcel of the said government is to be a member of the perpetual union of the USA and in the existing rebellion like the Confederacy. But they ain't gonna tell you that. This is why members who take the oath of amnesty and reconstruction are congratulated and welcomed back to the family of nations. Where's your adoption papers? They don't have it, Moors. The true USA Republic form of government in the land of our ancestors here in Amexima and America. We the people of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Ask them. The question in mind, I ask all my brothers and sisters by taking the oath, the covenant, and proclaiming your nationality as a Moorish American under Act 6. Are we members of two states, the Perpetual Union and the Moorish Science Temple of America? It makes you think about how deep our Prophet Noble Drew Ali is, family. But the answer is yes and no. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And that's, if you was a student of mine, I break it down. But I don't like to give too much because the Negro will run with it and get themselves in trouble. Like I'm getting a doctorate degree in indigenous people law and policy, and I saw Moore in there arguing about his capital, his name in caps. I said, Moore, please, you about to get in trouble and you get ready to go to jail. He said, why you say that? But that ain't my name. I said, but you here, idiot. Excuse, I said, you here. You here. And the judge asked him, and I'm going to say judge, but we know he ain't nothing. So anyway, he asked him, what's your name? He said his name. But he said, is that your name? Yes. But it ain't my name because it's in all caps. But is that your name? Yes. Boom, man, you done. You done. I will show you the right things, but we got to listen and be taught and then study for ourselves. But now that we know that we are true citizens of the USA, another question on many minds are, how is a Moorish American duly a member of a sovereign body politic? Man, that's simple. That's simple. There has to be conditions set forth for members intended by the founder of both agreed upon. If this, excuse me, Moors, if this is too successful, it got to take place. So Act 6 of our Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America is the agreement between the members and the founder. That's simple. It is not a pledge. Is this not a pledge, Moors? The Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali expressed that to be a Moorish American member of the body politic, to be a member of the Moorish Science Temple, what I'm saying, of the body politic, you have to proclaim it. Teach our people their nationality, Moorish America, and a divine creed. Ask them more, what's the divine creed? They don't even know. Know that they are not Negroes, black, colored, or Ethiopians that proclaim a free national name, El or Bay, and in exchange, the person and effects will be redeemed by the Holy Prophet and a inhabitant of the north and south western shores of Africa. Moors, you got to study maritime and admiralty, the laws. This is a beautiful position to be proud of. And I am thankful to be a Moorish American member of this body politic and corporate. Man, I can go on and on and on about the fee absolute, defined as an estate limited absolutely to a man and his hearers. Man, we can go on and on with the science. On and on with the science, Moors. The science is too deep. The science is too deep. I'm telling you. There's so much stuff on the back of our ID cards, on everyone that means something. And if somebody prints something out, it ain't even nothing on the back of their card because they don't know. They just print something. I promise you. It's too much. It's too much. I got affidavits. Watch this. Let me see if I can find this one. I got affidavits, man, from years ago when the brothers established this temple back in the day. Watch this. Let me see if I can find it. Watch this, Moors. Tribes, family, and lineages of one free Moorish American nation come forth a century of Bays, Els, Alis, Duns, Days, Zulu, Washitas, and Nuwabians and Els. We stand as the vanguards, executive rulers, and official representatives, deriving our just powers in due time from the great God of our ancient forefathers, the inherited and divine autonomies, to link ourselves with the other nations. Hereunto stand, declare, and hereby affix our seal, proclaiming ourselves as one nation, bearing one free national name, signers and framers of the proclamation of status and jurisdiction of the Moorish Americans, in propera persona, sejurish. This the year and the birth dates. And I'm going to show you, look at the times, look at the dates. Look at these names. Look at the dates. Look at the dates. You can look this stuff up. Look at the dates, man. Some of these Moors setting you back in slavery. I can care less today on their posts and stuff. Man, anybody can go in front of a building. A lot of these brothers are getting a cloak of destiny, and they showing you stuff out of cloak of destiny. Those affidavits and stuff out of cloak of destiny. Watch this. Let me show you something, Moors, where you don't get caught up. Watch this. I'm telling you, the work is already done. Let's see if I can show you something real fast. I don't want to keep pulling everything out. The work is already done. The work is already done. They putting out stuff and then acting like they did something. They ain't did a damn thing. I'm telling you. And I hate to start calling brothers out, but I'm seeing it, man. I'm seeing they faking the funk. They taking stuff and acting like it's valid, and it's not. They getting stuff from out of here. The work is already done. I'm telling you. The Cloak of Destiny, Volume 1, 2, and 3. I don't want to keep pulling everything out, but this is what they pulling out, Moors, and they acting like they going to court doing something. Man, that's bullcrap. The work is already done when you nationalize the right way. It ain't nothing you have to do anymore. The work is done. The work is done, Moors. I promise you. I promise you. The work is done. Look at all the other, look at the names that's nationalized the right way from back in the days. You can look this up from back in the days. From back in the days, Moors. Look at that. Look at that for yourself. You don't got to listen to nothing I say. Now watch this. I'm going to show you something. This was given to George Herbert Walker Bush, Office of George Bush, 10000 Memorial Drive, Suite 900, Houston, Texas. Enclosed, Moorish American Declaration Proclamation. Watch this. We pray you and your family and all true American citizens are well. This is a covered missive of illustrious and diplomatic stature. Verily, is a forerunner notifying an installation of the enclosed Declaration Proclamation of the Moorish American Nation. The intent and nature of these documents are of the highest honor and principles. They derive from the pure heart and mind of the Moorish American people, having formed themselves into a clean and pure nation. Now in due time, our heart is being extended to the heart of the United States of America through its presiding administration. True diplomacy is always the first course of communication amongst men of free national standards and principles. Ergo, the directive is being sent through Honorable George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president, as a follow-up from the hand-delivered version on or about January 23, 2006 by Mr. Allen and Flora Poe, district directors of the Women's Republican Party. To date, there has not been a responding activity acknowledging the receipt of the particular outreach. Due to the nobility and magnitude of this long-awaited solution, it will only be befitting to make every virtuous effort possible to allow the lion and the lamb to rest together and neither be harmed when morning comes. The sensitivity of this supreme issue merits the attaching highest caliber to the light of pathway for millions to follow. He must be in right order because of magnanimous portions of the virtue. Man, I can go on and on. The course, Moorish American present in North America, is an hand clasp of unity being pursued above a presiding setting and more publicized appellate procedures offered through the U.S. federal courts. Our Messiah and first Moorish American patriot. Our Messiah and first American patriot, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, 1886-1929, instructed us to go to those who know law. Go to those who know law in the city hall and in the government and ask in an intelligent tone, like I do. When I go to everywhere, they recognize. When I go places, they don't ask me to take my turban and fez off because how I come. And they will give you a favorable reply. Drew Ali further stated, I am certain that the present administration will be happy to help us to bring our people out of the darkness into the marvelous light. The attainment of freedom is found within the conscious minds of the true citizens. Moors, I can go on and on. The Moorish Americans are a clean and pure nation, and this immaculate nation we have justly come unto the existence with the ratification of the 1865 13th Amendment abolishment of slavery. Although 1868's 14th Amendment gave the Congress of the United States assumable jurisdiction over all persons born or naturalized. Since the ratification of the 14th and 15th, the ex post facto to the 13th Amendments, the Moorish Americans have been a cosmatose people, certified as mental Negroes, blacks and color, NBCs. They were not taught to be themselves until 1913, family, by the Moorish Messiah, Noble Drew Ali. And at that time, he was assisted by the presidential candidate, New Jersey State Governor Woodrow Wilson, to legally introduce the faith of Muhammad in the West. Today, as we are an estimated 47 to 60 million Moorish people indigenously breasted herein the continental North American territories. We represent the vanguard of the people while recognizing it by the grace alone, and we all have not awakened at once. I can go on and on, Moors. I'm gonna show you what this. I'm gonna show you the letter that was sent to the president. Watch. I'm gonna get to the end. My presidents, we humbly ask you to send us an immediate acknowledgement of your reception of the documents. This is necessary to avoid redirecting the course of this inevitable events. If it is your will and pleasure, you may issue instructions and arrangements via phone call, email, write otherwise contact. I direct at the contacts below my signature. We look forward to the great day when former slaves and former slave masters can link themselves with the families of nations, and none will be in want of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Upon your request, I will forward you the list of cabinet officials which will be present. For your disbursement, we prepare and close 5 original copies of the Moorish American Declaration, Proclamation of Status and Jurisdiction. Each copy of the aforesaid document and this missive will bear the embossed National Moorish American Seal to assure their authenticity. Through our highest principle of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, Honorable Sheikh Elu and Pleasant Bay, Divine Minister, Grand National Chairman of Moorish America, proof and postal delivery and the receipts to President Bush. These Negroes lying to y'all. They just print ID card. That mess don't mean nothing. I'm telling you, man. So you got to ask yourself some questions. I just demonstrated that about the Moorish Science Temple and what our cards mean something. It ain't no secret. You can look at it in a record of the county clerk. And like I said, I tell brothers and sisters, because one of my brothers is on YouTube, I don't nationalize. I walk you through the steps to the temple to nationalize. But I do have a school, and my school have ID cards, just like any other school. I only share Sunday school. Anybody can come Sunday school, but I don't share our lessons because those are for my students and my members, and they pay membership dues. They get literature and books, and we have a syllabus. So I taught that, man. I didn't even get a chance to go over the lesson. So log back on. I'm going to take a quick break. I say about a couple minutes. Log right back on, and we're going to teach what the triple rose is. We're going to teach the Commit and Adapt manual. We're going to teach some real science, and I'm going to teach what Sufism is to clear up what the more science spirituality is all about. Because people have been lying to brothers and sisters, acting like we're not spiritual people. They only give you one perspective of spirituality, talk about it's the holy breath. But what else is spirituality? We operate under a higher power, Moors. Yes, the spirituality is the holy breath, but also spirituality is how we operate. And in the Gnostic teachings, the esoteric teachings, that's what is called the blood that trickles down to the skull. But they don't know the Gnostic teachings because they just quoting bull crap. So log back on, Moors. We're going to teach this spirituality. I love you all. Peace. Log back on. It's going to be amazing.